Alright, here we go again. This past summer was the third annual Mario Sluggers online tournament, and it featured the craziest Sluggers plays I've ever seen in my 3 years running these tournaments. I'm going to show off all of the best strategies and highlights from the tournament, so let's get started. The tournament started off nice and smooth in winners round 1. 2 Sluggers veterans, Mario Morty and Puffy7. Morty took the series in a 2-game sweep, trying to prove that his Slugger skills are formidable, despite bowing out to Cheese 2202 in last year's tournament. We'll see more of him later. Unproxified had a great reaction in his game against Biscorbot.
Alright, we're good.
But unfortunately lost 2-0. This is Biscorbot's first tournament, but he did not play like a rookie. McLaren Man and Mega Leg, both newcomers, had a fun round 1 game. McLaren ended the sweep with a rare Wiggler dive to prevent the rally in the final inning. Next is our first 3-game series. Noki somehow missing the base here helped Koodle Duck to take a 13-inning thriller over HFB, but HFB would ultimately win the series 2-1. Funky Kong swept Yosher with an interesting double play at the end.
No, did he fuck?
And Gold Dragon was dominant in a win over Mario Lover. The other winners from round 1 were Toad8, Oman, and Lord Business. Starting winners round 2, we have Mario Morty back up to face the reigning champion and number 1 player, Ribbbz. Unfortunately, Morty couldn't put up much of a fight, falling victim to a caught star swing triple play and getting swept in the end. Another sweep happened with Jobo against McLaren. Jobo is a member of the National Sluggers League, consistently getting top 5 in tournaments. Next, I had my first game of the tourney against Funky Kong. I took game 1 fairly easily, but Funky Kong put up an incredible fight in game 2, with 2 dingers and even pushing the game to the 10th inning, where I barely squeaked out 2 runs to take the series. Another match in winners round 2 featuring a top player was Dwizzy vs Viking Cap. Dwizzy took the series in a sweep, but Viking is a very active online Sluggers player, so watch out for him later on. Other winners of this round were Biscorbot, who won on a forfeit, HFB, who beat Stuckman in an extremely close 2-game set, Oman, who beat Lord Business in 3 games, and Andrew, also of National Sluggers League, who Gold Dragon had the misfortune of running into. Funny thing about this tournament is that after this round, 2 people still in the winners round were siblings. Yep, Biscorbot and HFB are brothers, and both formidable Sluggers players. It's both of their first tournaments, but you may recognize HFB's other name. So, we'll see how well the speedrun skill translates to playing against other humans. Starting losers round 2, Viking Cap was down by 1 run in the last inning of game 3, but with 2 hits in a row to the same place took the lead and kept it. On to round 3 for Viking. Mario Morty, now in losers, refuses to go out without a fight. It was extremely close, and KB Way nearly amounted a comeback in the 7th, but Morty barely scraped by in a tense 3-game series. Unproxified, Lord Business, Koodle Duck, Stuckmund, Beast, and Mario Lover all advanced into losers round 3 as well. Unfortunately for Biscorbot, he ran into Ribbbz in winners round 3 and got swept. This play is the kind of thing that only happens when playing Ribbbz, I swear. This next match was insane. It's HFB's first test against a top player, Jobo. And HFB made a huge statement in game 1. He had nice star swings and good item play to take the win 6-2. In this tourney, the drafting rule was no repeat characters in this set, including alts. So going into game 2, both players took completely new rosters. HFB with a Mario team making use of his chance to draft Piantas, and Jobo needed a win, so he took his beloved Bowser team and all the Magic Koopas. It worked out well for him. Magic Koopa had a star swing to drive in a run, and Bowser had a great play in center field to prevent one. Jobo took a 4-0 lead into the final inning. HFB cut into the lead with a nice close play finesse home run with Mario, but that was it for the comeback. For game 3, HFB took a slightly different Bowser team, and Jobo opted for Yoshi captain. It was a very exciting game, with HFB scoring 9 runs in the first 5 innings, but Jobo made it interesting with a bird or dinger to get within 5 runs. However, HFB would indeed take it 10-4, with a massive win to move on to winner semis. Overall, HFB brought 6 strats like hitting the first baseman with items, and just played well overall. But Jobo had trouble catching line drive star swings on defense, and that cost him a lot of runs. The next matchup was me versus Oman.
Yes! Let's go!
We started on Daisy Cruiser, and I benefited from some shenanigans, taking it 3-0.
Double play.
I mean, they took a trillion years to get up. You'll be fine.
Fuck! You got it! Oh my god, the blooper! Holy shit!
I got a little cocky in game 2.
I don't think you bobbled a single star swing, and I bobbled like 8 of yours.
Well,
Why are you bothering?
Get better.
Stop moving.
it's cause
I
yours
know.
are the curvy ones. No one's gonna bobble this shit.
Oh, that's incredible timing. That's impeccable. No one's gonna bobble this shit. Boom.
But then redeemed myself with a BJ Dinger, taking the series 2-0. In Losers Round 3, Mario Morty and Mario Lover faced off, with Morty getting the sweep and ending on a mercy rule. Viking Cap, Lord Business, and Stuckmund also moved on. Now, on to winners semis, starting with HFB versus Ribbbz. They got to play on the new Red Mansion Stadium, which looks super cool. Ribbbz was absolutely dominant, with some sick Pianta plays, and took the series 2-0, sending HFB to losers semis. And then it was my turn to face a top seed. Andrew won our first online tournament back in 2023, barely beating Ribbbz. But I had taken a super close 3-game set in last year's losers finals to nab second place just above him. And this year's set did not disappoint either. I took game 1 with the help of a crazy double play with Blooper. Remember him, he'll come into play later on too. Game 2 had connection issues, so we played a new game as extra innings. We went 2 extra innings until Andrew hit a patented walk-off Bowser home run, so it was on to game 3 in DK Jungle Night, just like last year. Unfortunately this time around, I could not get offense going in the 3rd game, so Andrew advanced to winners finals versus Ribbbz, and kicked me down to losers quarterfinals. In losers round 5, Viking Cap took down Lord Business 2-1, and 16-seeded Mario Morty managed to take 6th-seeded Dwizzy to 3 games, making a valiant effort, but his tournament run ended here, and Dwizzy advanced to face HFB in losers quarters. But first, it was me versus Viking Cap. I took game 1, and then game 2 was tied 4-4 until I took the lead with this chaotic Yellow Toad close play, and ended up winning 7-4. And Dwizzy had his 3rd loser set in a row go to 3 games, but the 12-seeded HFB, which in retrospect was way too low of a seed for him, completed the upset with an incredibly close 8-7 win in game 3 to advance to loser semis against me. And this match was absolutely insane. In game 1, I started with an unconventional roster, with Waluigi captain. HFB also used some lower tier characters like Toadsworth and Toadette. Both teams chose Piantas, and they performed well on both sides. Pianta had a sick jump catch for me to get a double play, and then a laser throw to get another double play to prevent a run from HFB. Then, Waluigi showed why he's at the bottom of B tier with an awful star swing, but got saved by a throwing error to give me the lead. HFB would cut into my 4-1 lead with a Pianta dinger in the 6th, and then had a nice Yoshi catch to prevent me from scoring anymore in the top of the 7th. He almost was able to mount a comeback in the bottom of the inning, but the Pianta defense corralled the ball to give me a 1-0 series lead. HFB chose Luigi's Mansion for game 2, which usually is a good stadium for me, but just look at these plays. I could do nothing on offense when his defense was this elite. I did manage to score a single run, but then the floodgates opened for HFB. A K-Rule dinger helped him to an 11-1 victory in game 2. This was a bit demoralizing for me, but I'd suffered mercy rules before and went on to win the series, so I was still confident. Game 3 featured our best teams, since we had saved most of the really good characters for last. Bowser in center field was great for HFB, just as K-Rule was in game 2. We went into the bottom of the 6th, tied at 2 runs apiece. HFB had runners on 2nd and 3rd with a great star swinger, but Blooper made the play of his life for me to end the inning. Or I should say, the play of his life up to that point. Because in the top of the 7th, with no stars and 2 outs, he hit the most perfectly placed double to bring in 2 runs. And that's where the score would stay, giving me a 2-1 victory and a berth to losers finals. But what an incredible first tournament run for HFB. Now back in the winner's side, Andrew faced Ribbbz for the right to advance to grand finals. To say these two have a history would be a bit of an understatement. Andrew took their first set in 2023 Grand Finals, but Ribbbz got his revenge in Winners Finals last year, and has generally looked close to unbeatable lately. But shockingly, Andrew pitched a shutout in Game 1, winning 5-0 in the Mario vs Luigi match. Game 2 went to Wario City, and I guess Ribbbz wasn't happy about that shutout, because he went off. It only took 4 innings until the game was called at a 10-0 mercy. But does Andrew give up? Of course not. He gets a Hammer Bro home run to extend his lead to 3-0 in Game 3. Ribbbz would get a run from these incredibly strange barrel physics. But Bowser Jr. closed it out for Andrew in the end. He knocked Ribbbz down to losers finals. That must have felt very good. After barely squeaking by HFB, I was pretty happy with myself. Having to face Ribbbz next, knowing my chances of beating him were slim, I was content with my 3rd place in the tourney. Just looking at the scores from last year is embarrassing. I scored just 1 run in the whole set, so I wasn't expecting much different this time around. And Game 1 was pretty much the same story. I chose Daisy as my captain, trying to save the good ones for later, and it didn't go so well for me. I actually almost had a dinger in the first inning, but it got robbed. And after that was a massacre. Ribbbz even hit a dinger off me with Paragoomba. Not much I could do when stuff like that was happening. So I got mercied in just the 5th inning. But then, Game 2 had some patented Beckett magic. Ribbbz caught a nice line drive hit from Pianta, but then I came right back with a line drive dinger from Yellow Toad. I love Daisy Cruiser at night. Then I pulled off a clutch buddy jump with Yoshi to save a 2-run home run. But Ribbbz soon hit an uncatchable long ball with K-Rool and took a 2-1 lead. Bottom of the 6th, 2 outs, I had to pull something out. But Critter said no. Luckily I still had 3 more outs, and I made sure to call my shot.
Alright, walk-up time, let's go. Let's go. Best lineup ever.
But then, 2 quick tough outs. Yoshi delivered with his star swing though, so I had the winning run at the plate.
Okay, I gotta do some... No, I didn't mean that. No, what am I doing? No, fuck off. Please stop. Please stop. Oh my god. Yes! Yes! Yes, he did it! Fucking told you.
Pianta did it. Star swing dinger. Incredible. Game 3 might have been even crazier if you can believe that. It started with me hitting a non-contact zone Bowser home run, which is super rare. But that was nothing compared to what Ribbbz did in the 5th inning with a 6-3 lead. Absolutely unreal. I was fuming. I actually had a legitimate chance to make a 6-run comeback, but I only managed 2 runs before I squandered it. Oh well, I was happy with how I played, and it was an extremely fun set. Ribbbz moved on to face Andrew again, where he would have to win 2 sets in a row if he wanted to be the repeat champion. And Wiggler helped him out to a great start in Game 1, hitting a 2-run homer on Blue Bowser's Castle. Ribbbz also had some nice defense, holding Andrew to just 2 runs on the way to a 7-2 victory in Game 1. Game 2 was much closer, and provided some fun Yoshi Park shenanigans that benefited Andrew and helped him take a 4-3 lead into the final inning. But this lead evaporated in the top of the 7th when he missed an attack to allow Paratroopa to drive in 3 runs. Ribbbz reset the bracket with 2 quick wins, bringing us to Grand Finals Set 2. And after Game 1, the set was not looking good for Andrew. Ribbbz had a nice star swing and a smooth double play to take an early lead, which grew when Bowser hit it out of the park straight to center field. Icebro then followed suit, and Andrew threw in the towel, accepting the 10-0 mercy rule and bringing Ribbbz just 1 game away from the trophy. But Andrew had a lot more left in the tank. Even with this hilarious Toadette triple, he managed to defend Ribbbz' offense very well in Game 2. And with the game tied 1-1 in the 6th, he slapped a Birdo single, bringing in Yoshi to break the tie. Then he benefited from an extremely lucky play where Birdo wasn't affected at all by the POW during the suction catch, which I've never seen before. And Blooper would catch the final out to even the series at 1 game apiece. Now it's Game 3, winner take all, and Andrew gets his Bowser team. Watch out. Right away, he hits a leadoff home run with Bowser. And I bet he was hoping this momentum would carry him through the rest of the game, but Ribbbz was having none of it. The very next inning, he gets perfect contact with Birdo to straight center, and suddenly it's 4-1. And in the bottom of that inning, he nabs 3 star swings in a row with critter jump catches. Incredible. I bet Andrew was feeling very annoyed when even a solid hit like this was getting caught frame perfectly. He had one last hope in the 7th inning, but it's ended by, what else, a PD jump catch for the final out of the tournament. Wow, what amazing games. Congrats to Ribbbz, Andrew, HFB, and Dwizzy for the top 5 finishes. If this looked fun to you, join our Discord and try out some online matches yourself. There's a new online Sluggers bot that helps you start your matches and work being done on automatic stack keeping. Thanks as always for watching.